Well, welcome back to another episode of LIV, one of our last episodes here at LIV Kingdom Culture TV. It is day 29. Let's get it. Guys, today's message title is called Mask Off. And man, I really entitled that. As you guys can see, it's getting colder on my walks, and as I just walk, I actually talk to myself, either for a message or just to maybe get out of my head. And today I really realized that an essential part to living in victory was actually, for me, deciding that I wanted to live in victory. And victory is something that we fight to keep, but it's actually a decision that we have to make in order to have. And it's a decision we make by faith. And if I can just explain that, what it really was for me, it was knowing the obstacles that were around me, knowing the self-sabotage tactics and habits that I had, and knowing all that, I had to then still make the choice to be like, okay, with all that in mind, is my God great enough? Did Jesus die on the cross for me to live beneath and to live with these things in sorrow? Or did he die for me to have victory over these things? And so I made that decision that each and every day that I was going to wage war against myself and against the things that held me back. And so today I call it Mask Off, because I couldn't reach that point without being real with myself. And that required me to take off this mask, like symbolic mask that I was wearing, something that I even did to fool myself subconsciously, like fool myself into thinking that maybe I'm this or maybe I'm that, or fool myself into thinking that maybe I've arrived at some place that I thought I should be at, or maybe that I'm not so bad, or maybe I am. It's like a lot of the things that I struggle with are the things that I self-sabotage with myself with. And as we talked before, like, the devil isn't just big bad wolf, because a lot of the work is done, and a lot of the things that we fight with are against ourselves. So today I want to just remind you guys that, like, the first step, yes, to living in victory is deciding you want to have it. And then the second step is fighting to keep it with the help of the Holy Spirit and with great people around you. Like, this series is a blessing, man, because so many great people have come to support me, and God has used you guys to be an encouragement to me and to Milena, like just this whole ministry in general. And the third thing is being real with ourselves so that we can be real with God. A lot of us, we hear that, but we don't really hear it, because it's like, I want to be real with myself, but I'm actually fighting to have gifts like that person, or I'm actually fighting to develop talents that look like that guy's, or I'm actually maybe working this job to actually gain some money so that I can live and look like a certain way. At the end of the day, guys, God is the only one who's really going to judge us, and he's the only one who really knows our hearts. So being real with ourselves is the first step to actually living in victory, because before we can actually be a blessing to anybody else around us, we have to be real with ourselves. How many of us have friends and family that are close in proximity, but we feel like we don't even know them really? And those are the people that probably don't even know themselves. So today, guys, I want to encourage you, wow, second last day, I want to encourage you guys to take your mask off. To start with yourself. You don't need a platform to be vulnerable. A lot of people think vulnerability now is holding up a camera and sharing something about your life. And although that may be true, really what it starts with being honest and real with yourself first. And if the Holy Spirit leads you to speak into someone's life, then that's what you do. But vulnerability and authenticity starts with you and you alone. And then it goes and it bleeds into your relationships and affects people around us. If we learn nothing from this pandemic, I hope that we learn how infectious our interactions and our connections are. Infectious, contagious even, meaning I can be right beside you and catch what you have. And if I can catch what you have physically, how much that more can I catch what you have spiritually, emotionally, and mentally? So be aware that can work both ways, good and bad. So reevaluate yourself. Take off your mask. Be real. Be open. Be vulnerable. Don't be macho, or don't be stush. Don't be, you know what I mean? Like, it does you nothing, because you're contaminating those around you. you're contaminating them, and you're being something that is contagious and toxic instead of something that spreads love and joy. So I hope you guys just encouraged right now today to take off your mask and be all that God is calling you to be. Peace.